business.
Crime, corruption, and criminal justice. AmCham, the American Chamber of Commerce, is shining a light on these topics here at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in a luncheon that's looking at how these affect Jamaica's trade and investment potential. I'm Elon Parkinson. Let's take a look at the highlights.
One of the things that I realize is that having these forums, it provides us with an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to improve. And all members should give your organization a round of applause. Put your hands together for it. For weeks, I was talking about business unusual. For weeks, that was the last one on the economy that you guys had. And I was in cocktail conversation sounding smarter than I am just by virtue of having been in the room. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today. I'm going to apologize for the National Security Minister, Dr. Horace Chang. He did intend to be here, but he was called at the last minute to Parliament. I believe he has a parliamentary committee that he must be at, so they've summoned him. You know, the numbers are important in these committees to make quorum and to participate in discussions at Gordon House, so he won't be with us today. The DPP, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Paula Llewellyn, is here. Thank you very much for being here with us today, as is Dirk Harrison, the acting head of the Corruption Prosecution Division at the Integrity Commission. Always glad to have Professor Anthony Clayton, a respected criminologist, here with us today. Jason Fraser is the country rep of the USAID. Thank you very much, and looking forward to hearing their presentations later today. At this time, I'm going to invite Alison Peart, the president of AmCham of Jamaica, to give the official welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody. You know, we look so officious and so quiet. It's very, very important business, but I'm hoping today you're going to learn a lot more. You're going to leave here understanding more about some of the issues and, more importantly, with some solutions. Because it's one thing to speak about our issues, but if we don't find a solution, we're just a talk shop. And I love Nationwide on the radio, but we don't just want to talk. We want to come up with some solutions. So as the president of the American Chamber of Commerce in Jamaica, we thought it very important. We talk about how wonderful the economy was. Our last session was business unusual. But if we have crime issues, if people don't feel, Jamaicans don't feel comfortable going about their daily lives, if our foreign investors don't feel comfortable, if our children, who are our future, have issues, where are we as a nation? So we thought it very important to bring together a panel that would engage in the dialogue about crime, corruption, criminal justice. How does it affect our trade and investment? Because it makes no sense to talk about our GDP growing or our debt to GDP if we're dying. It makes no sense if our future is tied to crime. So this dialogue is very, 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 very important, and I am very happy you're here with us.
Okay, the question today is how much crime and corruption and a dysfunctional justice system are actually inhibiting the development of Jamaica and inward investment. Because we don't just have one problem, we have quite a complex array of problems. And it's quite hard to know how much we should attribute to any one of these and how much any one of these is contributing to what has historically been a very low rate of growth and significant difficulties in attracting inward investment and retaining domestic capital and retaining human capital. These are the headline ones. We have one of the highest rates of violence in the world. We have a large number, a significant number of gangs. About 80% of our homicide are gang-related. The rest are primarily domestic violence. So the fact that we have a large number of gangs is clearly a major factor in maintaining one of the world's highest levels of homicide. There are fundamental challenges still in our system of governance. As I'll be going on to say in a few minutes, we have people in public life who help to create this problem with gangs and high levels of violence, and that link has never been yet severed, and that is still a challenge that we have yet to face. What, of course, that does is it undermines the moral authority of government. If you have a situation where all the bad guys are out there and everybody in government is honest and competent, it's not really very difficult to deal with the problems of crime. The problem is when the boundaries between the two are blurred, and when you have criminals who are getting high-level political protection. At that point, it's much, much harder to deal with the issues. Of course, what that feeds is a culture of cynicism, low trust, and that has a great deal to do with sustaining a high level of violence. In any country where you see that people do not trust the police and do not trust the justice system, they're much more likely to have recourse to violence to solve their issues and disputes. So it's partly reflecting the fact that we've still got deep weaknesses in our system of governance. But let's put this in a little context. There's only one demographic for whom violence is the leading cause of premature morbidity, which is young males, late teens, early 20s. For every other demographic, it's actually cheeseburgers that are more likely to kill you. We've got issues with, like every other country, with steeply rising rates of non-communicable diseases. And we can't also forget the fact that we have perennial challenges with energy security, increasingly with water security, which is related, because years ago we made the decision that everybody must be on a piped water supply, which means that we're now committed to a program of pumping water up hillsides, which means that if our energy system goes down, our water system goes down too. In hindsight, perhaps that wasn't a very good decision. So we've got issues with energy, water security, and more generally food and access to resources. We live in a seismically active part of the world. We live in the hurricane belt. There's challenges with emerging exotic diseases, and of course we've got a background issue really serious now, as people have started to realize with climate change. You may have heard that this summer is the hottest ever recorded in Jamaica's history. And in fact, there is now real grounds for concern that we've gone past an irrevocable point, and that we will not ever revert back to the low temperatures of the past. So this is something that we may now have to make a permanent adjustment to.
Dodgen Global offers a CPA scholarship program to team members who join our team. A career in accountancy at Dodgen Global is a great choice and can offer you excellent job prospects. We believe that an accounting education is the greatest gift you can give yourself or anyone else. Few gifts make as significant an impact as the gift of an accountancy education with a job. It's a contribution that lasts a lifetime in the form of learning, opportunity, and success. Join our team and get the opportunity to be part of our CPA scholarship program. This scholarships awards program will be administered by the HR department of Dodgen Global. Requirements: first degree in accounting, employed at Dodgen Global, willing to pursue the CPA examination. Here's how to apply. Submit application to Staff Accountant, Dodgen Global, email sa@dodgen.com.
One of our highest priorities of the U.S. government in Jamaica is to work with our counterparts to interdict Jamaican and Caribbean-based transnational criminal activity, including narcotics and arms trafficking, trafficking in persons, and financial fraud targeting U.S. citizens. The U.S. government has also invested heavily in supporting anti-corruption initiatives with the civil society and Jamaican government, as well as supported improvements in the justice system. In total, the U.S. government invests about $12 million in security-related programming annually, which does not include all the various partnerships and collaborations that our various U.S. government agencies have with their counterparts. In fact, USAID Jamaica just advertised a broad agency announcement to co-design our flagship community violence prevention activity with key stakeholders such as the government, academia, and private sector. This unique co-creation approach encourages key stakeholders to co-create and deliver the services that are vital to prevent youth crime and violence at the community level. Law enforcement and criminal justice are important to controlling crime, as we all know, and corruption. But we also have to address the underlying social challenges that both cause and contribute to crime. Within the broad range of U.S. cooperation on crime, and this is where USAID comes in, we partner with the government and civil society on a range of programs to address the root causes of crime in Jamaica. So in the area of community safety and security, and building upon past successes with community-based policing, USAID focuses on the strengthening of community-based and civil society organizations, the promotion of community-driven activities, the development of long-term champions of a culture of lawfulness, and the enhancement of ministries, departments, and agencies of the state to be more community-oriented institutions. In this way, we believe that we contribute to building safer communities, strengthening social cohesion, and improving civic engagement participation. USAID also works with holistic youth-friendly approaches that aims to assist at-risk youth in becoming active citizens through the engagement of different social, educational, behavioral, and recreational activities. This approach includes three main areas regarding youth involved in criminality: prevention, intervention, and rehabilitation, including diversion activities as alternatives to traditional incarceration for first-time offenders. Youth also develop skills through educational programs which introduce them to fundamental concepts in business, economics, individual accountability, and entrepreneurship. USAID expects that life skills and technical training will increase opportunities for at-risk youth to work within the legitimate economy, thereby reducing the likelihood of involvement in gang and criminal activity. In Jamaica, relationships with key public sector, private sector, and donor agency partners are being leveraged to create programs to build skills and to identify work options for youth. USAID also works in the youth remandee centers, which includes case management follow-up to facilitate at-risk youth acquiring job and education opportunities when they are released. In the area of corruption, the Combating Corruption in Jamaica project has not only built public demand for more effective action against corruption through awareness campaigns, but has also provided training to government and civil society partners to build capacity and increase advocacy. The project is expected to have an impact on the nation's capacity and the ability to effectively control instances of and attitudes towards corruption in general and political corruption in particular. So what's the role of the private sector in addressing the root causes? That's why we're all here today. Many of you are representing private sector organizations. How can the private sector be a key partner in addressing some of these root causes? Obviously, many of you are part of the community, and so you have an interest. Your company is often affected by the high rates of crime and corruption. So it's important that government, international partners who support government, NGOs, and the private sector work together to address these issues. We've all been to various forums on issues surrounding crime in Jamaica. I think the private sector here needs to continue to ask itself what it is doing to address the issue. Clearly, advocacy is important to press for resources, accountability, and support in combating crime. but there's much more that can be done to invest in communities to make them safer and create opportunities for the next generation to be prosperous. Looking ahead, we welcome the opportunity to increase our engagement with the private sector on these challenges because of the energy and innovation that they typically bring to the table. USAID is a learning agency, and we are constantly exploring how to improve our work and increase our impact. So as we streamline our programs and look for new strategic partners, we invite the private sector to partner with us as we both work towards the common goal of helping Jamaicans thrive.
There's this sense of a godlike syndrome that during some transactions an oversight body must lap its tail or virtually hold its corner in the name of investment. There are different roles for each stakeholder. Each must stay in their lane and accept criticism when constructively made. On the contrary, ladies and gentlemen, potential investors, in fact, should be happy that the business environment observes the rule of law and that democracy flourishes with built-in checks and balances. If I were an investor about to enter Jamaica, it's incumbent on me and my handlers to look out for red flags and indicators of the environment. I name a few on a list that is not exhaustive. 1, determine the role of the oversight body. It must be effective, efficient, fearless, and it must be respected. What, if any, comment does the oversight body have to say on a process or an investment opportunity that you wish to enter? The engagement, ladies and gentlemen, of investors and investor confidence, existing and thriving, must be viewed on a virtual 2-lane highway. That is a 2-way street with rules and guidelines being applicable. 2, does the police service support and protect local and non-Jamaican community members? Do they communicate with all persons? Are they accessible at all times? Maintain a presence that the visitor or citizen believes and recognizes that if they do wrong, they'll be detected. But lines of communication must always be in place. For too long in this blessed country, the notion exists that unless someone knows you and you not knowing them, nothing will happen. That needs to end. In a time of real emergency, the joke is told, unless you have on speed dial a member of the police force, the response time to a complaint is sometimes unacceptable. Another thing that I would think an investor would look for, there must be a criminal justice system that is efficient and effective, and we must congratulate the learned Chief Justice for the renaissance and the role of the DPP's office in the renaissance that is taking place now. But we must also have financial services, a banking system, healthcare facilities. They must be adequate, to name a few components. Importantly, ladies and gentlemen, on Jamaica's stock exchange record, Michael Reagan, writing in Bloomberg Business Week, January 18, 2019, states the Jamaican Stock Exchange is the world's best performing. Its outperformance over the past 5 years is even more striking. Jamaica's stocks have surged almost 300%, more than quadrupling the next best performing national benchmark and septupling the S&P Standard & Poor's 500's advance. I make bold to say that the very important successes must be highlighted, with all the negatives on crime and violence reported in the last 48 hours in Jamaica. Also, the awards in the tourism sector must also be celebrated. However, we must do better. Ladies and gentlemen, what are some of the solutions? Government agencies must work together all the time and set aside jealousies and petty matters which have no place in a professional setting. Interagency cooperation and collaboration must be emphasized and practiced. You must build bridges and stop tearing down, emasculating, and ridiculing persons. The fact that you do not agree is no reason to disrespect. Professionalism is non-negotiable. We must have a review of the timelines to review governance structures. Oftentimes, pieces of legislation give you 3 years to review a legislation. You see in 1 year, nothing is happening. The parliamentary caucus needs to do something about that. We must enhance whistleblowing regimes, changing discourse to, in my words, informer for live. Stop saying informer for dead, informer for live. I must admit, I'm an informer. I'm a proud one. I'm an informer. Tell me something today, I'm going to tell the police tomorrow. We need to modernize the law enforcement units and bring outstanding laws into operation. We need public education to sensitize the world that the perception of corruption or actual is not a reflection of the overwhelming majority of law-abiding Jamaicans. We need to ensure that the police and our oversight bodies work to regain public trust. The police must maintain presence, not just in hotspots, but also generally. It will help to rebuild issues of insecurity. I pause here as I listen to Professor Clayton. In the last month, I visited Cayman. The police carry no guns. A year before, I went to Turks and Caicos. The police had no guns. I visited Grenada a few times. The police had no guns. They have their problems, but I felt safe. I'm walking in this, my beloved country, and we're turning and looking behind us every minute. But our Caribbean neighbors, and Professor Clayton showed us the figures, I feel safe. We need to look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, as I close, I reiterate that the government of Jamaica, the ministries, the departments, the statutory bodies, to name a few, must work united to create that package, that which is seen by the outside world, with all the various components and elements that they look at, and which they consider, and which will have the effect to harness growth and encourage investor confidence. But most importantly, we must leave our partners with the belief that integrity is non-negotiable. Honesty is paramount, not by word of mouth, but by our actions. And despite our problems, crime and corruption, that they can and humbly should consider investing in our country to bring about change for good, acknowledging that the improvement of the basic standards of life may have the effect of changing behavior. But I readily admit, we can't legislate for good behavior.
Cameo takes you behind the scenes of Jamaica's exploding creative industries to give you an insider's look at how creatives get the job done.
I'm really picky about how we treat our customers.
As creative people, we went a little bit over the top.
Each week, we interview innovators leading the charge in their industry. The chaos of creativity meets the stricture of structure on Business Access TV's Cameo.
In respect of what it takes to inspire confidence, I'm a plain speaker, and I will say, I believe that what is happening in our country, education is the key. I believe that a lot of our children, some of those who come from environments where they are victims of poor and dysfunctional parenting, we need to reintroduce civics in all its forms back within the schools, from the time of the basic school, because there are a lot of our children. People complain that, okay, are the schools not doing enough? But they may go to school, the teachers try their best, and they go back into an environment that is like a black hole of nothingness, because there's no value system, no values, positive values and attitudes. And yet if you take that child and you put that child in another environment, you have intervention, positive intervention, you would be surprised to see the beautiful diamond coming from the rough. So I'm really a big believer in education. Now, another pet peeve of mine is that, and I prosecute police officers, I do not subscribe to the throwing the baby with the bathwater approach. Everybody knows their functions best. But I am not a public official who believes, unless it is necessary in the interests of justice, to make gratuitous comments in terms of seeking to tear down my colleagues anywhere. And I am not into using speculation to put out there to join the call for crucify him, crucify her in the public domain, where you have the court of public opinion demanding, just like the little old ladies who were knitting at the time in the Tale of Two Cities and saying for the noblemen, chop off their heads. I am not into that. At the Director of Public Prosecution's office, we deal with two things: the law and evidence. Personal emotion, personalities, we are not into it. So even if the court of public opinion or any other opinion would like to see the guillotined head of an individual on a platter, if there is no evidence to prosecute, to mount a viable prosecution, then as a matter of law, we have to say so. And I will say, and it's the first time I'm saying it publicly, first time, and I say it with the greatest of respect, that this is why on occasion, when I've been asked privately, I have registered privately a concern when you have no firewall between agencies that both investigate and prosecute. Because if you are not careful, you run away in the court of public opinion, and the court of law has to catch up. And by the time it gets to court, after a lot of reputational damage has been done, when you look at it and the defense counsel gets up and says, they are putting the prosecution in limine to prove what is there, the judge asks, and when you pare away what is there, there's nothing there as a matter of law. So sometimes in the court of public opinion, the members of the public would want to see one thing, but both the police and I know that in the court of law, it's either you have to have cogent, credible, reliable, admissible evidence. If you don't have it, then no matter how egregious the conduct of an individual is, then you don't have a case. Then you have to look at the second layer in terms of governance and accountability. And this is where public opinion, civil society can force the government of the day to make sure that all the particular oversight agencies, that they have teeth, that they are well structured, and that the will, the political will is there to make sure that the teeth are not rickety in the oversight agencies, but they can stand up. In other words, if you put a piece of cane in the mouth of the teeth of that oversight agency, the teeth won't come out. It is the cane that will suffer damage.
Riveting perspectives and indeed sobering statistics coming from the AmCham empaneled team here at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. You're watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
Sundays at 4:30 p.m. It's all about Home Sweet Home. Get your half-hour dose of the business of real estate, from laws and concepts to reality, building, buying, or renting. Or what about trends in decor or renovations? Home Sweet Home will keep you up to date.
It's International Women's Day, being observed under the theme, I Am Generation Equality, Realizing Women's Rights. According to UNWomen.org, the year 2020 is a pivotal one for advancing gender equality worldwide as the global community takes stock of progress made for women's rights since the adoption of the Beijing Platform for Action. Welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm Theodore Henry. Coming up in today's magazine, we'll highlight some of Jamaica's influential women and help you find your passion. You don't want to miss a minute, so stay tuned. Today on Get the Facts, Dr. Shim Hugh shares how you can find your passion and perhaps use it to make some money.
Welcome to Get the Facts, the program that provides you with information on government's policies and initiatives. I'm Carrie-Ann Smith-McIntosh, sitting in for Entros Campbell. Today we're switching things up a little bit because we want to help you with a critical aspect of your life. And this, I guarantee, will set the pace for years to come. We're talking about finding your passion. Joining us is someone who is no stranger to the Get the Facts set, Dr. Sasha Shim Hugh, who is a manager in the Workforce Development and Employment Division at Heart National Service Training Agency Trust. Dr. Shim Hugh, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so we want to get straight into the meat of the matter. What is passion?
To answer that question, I'll pose another question. What are you passionate about? Truly, passion is what drives you. It's the verb. It is something that you think about late in the night. It wakes you up. You can't shake it any at all. You believe that your life will be complete once you are able to achieve or do these things. That's what passion really is. That thing in the bottom of your belly that you feel having done that, life would be perfect.
Wow. And does everyone have passion?
Yes, but not everybody is in tune with their passion, and that's what makes the difference.
Okay, so how do you discover your passion? And I would like a step-by-step process because, you know, I need to connect with it. How do you discover it?
So passion first is based on that thing that you think about. So if it is that there's something that you believe that once you have achieved it, life would be complete, that is first what your passion is, and it's tied to your purpose. Having identified what your passion is, it requires more research. It's not just, okay, I love to speak, I'm going to be a great public speaker, so I'm going to quit my 9 to 5. It's really about researching what it will take to make sure that my passion is aligned with my purpose and is aligned with my pocket. So I also find out from other persons, how can this passion that I have lying deep within can be materialized? What funds do I need, if any at all? Do I need to go back to school? Do I need to speak with someone who is living their same passion, one that is similar to mine, out loud? So research is key. And in my case, I tie everything to that of spirituality. So I pray about it.
Okay.
And so that makes a difference for me.
Okay, so can we just call it the 3 Ps? You said,
sure.
What? Passion, purpose, and pocket.
Yes,
okay.
And I want to add a fourth one, and prayer.
And prayer.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm hearing that perhaps your passion can be turned into a money-making venture. I mean, is that what you're saying? And how do you do that, apart from just researching?
So definitely. It all ties to money. That's what we're all about at the end of the day. But I want to tell you that I've heard somebody say that I rather fail at something that I'm passionate about than be successful at somebody else's dream. So what it requires, once again, we mentioned research, yes. It also requires thinking about whether or not this is something I want to pursue. Now, entrepreneurship is technical in and of itself.
Right.
But there are many persons. Let us think about someone local, Bridget, in Bridget Sandals. She had a dream. She wanted to make internationally acclaimed slippers, but it comes with a cost. So you have to first find out who else is doing what I am doing. And even if someone else is doing it, it doesn't mean I'm going to fail. There are many patty companies, isn't that so?
Yes.
And in their own right, they all have the clientele and they're all doing well. Back at slippers, there are many slippers makers out there and entrepreneurs. But really, what allows you to do well is what drives you inside. Is this something I want to pursue? Many persons fail because they lack that motivation. They lack that purpose inside them that says, come what may, I'm going to stick with it. So the Bible tells us to write our dreams down and make it plain. We have to make a note as to what it will take to fulfill this purpose. Will I need to go back to school? Do I need to share my dreams with somebody else who is in the business? Will I need to get a loan? Am I able to stand on my own? Will I need to partner? For some persons, being passionate means that they are a good speaker. It means that they're a good inspirational coach. It means they're a good patty maker. Everything started from where? A dream, which propelled from your purpose, which started with a burning passion.
Right.
Yes.
So additionally, I'm thinking also competence, right? So it's knowledge, skills, and attitude.
Most definitely.
Okay, so there's something that I've always heard. If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Is this true? And I wonder about that, especially now that you're talking about passion.
I've heard it being said many times, and I share the sentiment because though I'm in training, I believe my passion is inspiring people. And I'll go and make presentations all over the place. Some paid, some not paid. But I don't get a greater satisfaction from being paid. In fact, the satisfaction that I get is seeing the lives of persons change. Many by saying what you have said has made a difference. Years down the road, I see someone who said, what you said to me allowed me to do some introspection and I'm a better person. So really, at the end of the day, your passion has to be something that you believe in the long haul you will continue doing. It's not just for the here and now. It is for eternity. As long as your life is here, you will continue doing it. Awake, sleeping, you think about it. It drives you. It motivates you. You can't stop unless you are doing it.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay, so we'll take a break right here and then we'll return to talk more about finding your passion.
Garbage collection, maintenance of public sanitary conveniences, upkeep of cemeteries, provision of water shops, road improvement, street lights, poor relief programs, community beautification. All these services are funded by you. Yes, they are, when you pay your property tax. Pay your annual property tax to make Jamaica the place of choice for all.
Welcome back to Get the Facts. We continue our discussion with the Dr. Sasha Shimhugh, Manager in the Workforce Development and Employment Division at Heart National Service Training Agency Trust. Okay, so we've been talking about finding your passion.
Yes.
But a question for you. Can you fail at your passion?
Like everything in life, there's a failure rate. Most definitely. But if it's something that you want to pursue, something that you are passionate about, you're not going to stop. Life happens. Just in everything else, you keep pressing on and you perfect your art. It's by failing that you really know what not to do and what to do. So definitely.
But some persons would say, okay, so if I failed, perhaps it was not my passion.
But I would say this. If you are having an issue with your child that you love dearly, and your child does not live up to your ideals, are you going to stop parenting? No. You've now learned something that the child should not do or you should not do in being a proper parent. Just like with parenting, there's no real quote-unquote book or guide to pursuing your passion. Yes, people will tell you what it is that they believe, but really your gut guides you. It helps you to know the path that you must not take and you must take. And of course, research is key. But ultimately, just like with the light bulb, we've heard the story many times, 1,000 or so tries and then he got it right. He was was passionate about creating something that no one else had created. And that's what passion does. It propels you into your purpose.
Right. Okay. All right. So all positives, and I'm sure the audience will embrace that. But what about the challenges that you will face as it relates to translating your passion into becoming a job, etc.?
So there are some basic things. One, self-doubt.
Yeah.
We are our worst enemies. We are our worst critiques. We find every reason why it will not work.
Yeah.
And it starts in the mind first, because we tell ourselves we can't, even when we can. So many times our mind prevents us from moving forward. But if you overcome the doubt of the mind, you will also have to contend with your circle. Many times who you associate with can make or break you pursuing your passion. They may say, boy, that will not work.
Yeah.
Or there are many other persons who have gone down this path and it has failed. What makes you so different? So really, who you associate with makes or breaks your desire to continue. And then your desire to really stick with it to the end. Halfway through it, you mentioned earlier failing. You may have failed and then decide, I'm going to throw in the towel. I can't bother with this. Let me go back to the mundane. Let me go back to living. I mean, after all, I was living, but was I really thriving? I was surviving, but was I really living an enlightened life, a life of passion or purpose? So really, self-doubt, our circle, and our stick-to-itiveness, whether or not we will see through to the end. So those are the three major things, yet basic, that cause us not to see our passion through to the end.
Okay, and what about time management?
Now, time management is critical. In a positive and a negative way. There are persons who say, oh, I have all my life to actualize my passion. But the truth is, if it's something that you really want to do, the time is now. There is no better time to pursue your happiness than now. Many of us love feeding into somebody else's dream. Sure, you heard the story about this boss, that this coworker who said, boy, boss, 10 years down the line, you'll have another Lamborghini like this one. And the boss said, yes, you will help me to realize that maybe in 5. So while we are there living somebody else's passion out loud, we need to understand that the time is now to start doing your research, writing it down, seeing how is it that I can achieve what I want to achieve. Do I need to register my business? Do I need to do some business cards? Do I need to promote myself? Let persons know that, hey, I'm a great singer. Do I need to now find myself in different avenues? Do I need to put value on myself? And that is the beginning of greatness. It's the beginning of your passion being fulfilled. Also, there are persons who believe, I might be too old.
I was going to ask you about that.
One not dead, not forgotten.
Okay.
Once you are alive, you're still learning and you have an opportunity to live your life out loud. Some of the most seasoned persons in life are mature persons, and they have the experience to now know what to do. What is the springboard I need to live my passion? So age does not limit you at all. You are the limiter of yourself, really.
Right. Okay. So you mentioned somebody else perhaps doing what you'd want to do because you're passionate about that particular thing. So passion really would not be the differentiating matter. What would you do then to stand out? So you're both passionate about a particular thing. What would you do to stand out in that business or that area?
Excellent question. So it's finding your angle. So there are a lot of great speakers, but what it is that is needed. So that's where research comes in. There might be persons who are talking about how to be a great business manager, but then you have something else. You might be able to talk about what it requires to be an excellent publicist. You're still a presenter in your own right, but your target market is different. So that's what makes the difference, really. And then it is having that winning edge. All right. So you make clothes, and your clothes is for a pregnant woman. That's a target market. While mine may be on the fluffier side for persons who are the curvy divas. So I find out what is lacking and I move towards that. But I'm still a seamstress, am I not? I'm just great at what I'm doing in my own right.
Wow, and a positive outlook. I was going to ask you about good habits. Leave with us some good habits if it is that you're a passionate person and you want to ensure that you realize your passion.
So the first thing is that burning desire that is inside of you that wakes you up in the middle of the night. That is God knocking at the door saying to you, you have been created to do this. And the knocking won't go away, because if you have not been living your life out loud, it won't happen. One, that's one. Two, Do some research. Find out how it is that you can do what you need to do in the best way possible. Think about the marketplace that you're trying to target. What is the need in the marketplace? How can I make a difference? How can I stick out? Do I need to have flyers that are color coded so when persons see me, they remember me based on the color? And also, it's important to note you may not always make it financially initially. But if you stick with it, it will make a difference. So make sure that you keep on the line to success.
Right.
Passion really is about you and nobody else. And sometimes it's a lonely road. People may not understand why you are doing the things that you're doing, but ultimately you and God know. So keep pursuing, keep the dream alive, dream it, believe it, and live your passion out loud.
You know, I actually said that was the last question, but just because you're talking and you make it sound like you're going to get the passion or fulfill it right now. What about timelines? So I want to do another sandals business. Will I get it done in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? You have a timeline in mind?
It really depends on your resources. If you have the financial will, the know-how, the support, then what is preventing you from doing it now? But if it is that you have to acquire other things, more knowledge, a support system, networking, if you need additional resources, then you now need to say, in 6 months, I'll do X. In a year, I'll do Y. But timelines keep you in line, and it allows you to do some assessment and evaluation to see, am I achieving what I want to achieve in the time frame that I want to achieve it?
Dr. Shim-Hugh. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. I'm sure that we will find the passion within and we will unleash it. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So this has been Get the Facts. Our guest was Dr. Sasha Shim-Hugh, Manager in the Workforce Development and Employment Division at Heart National Service Training Agency Trust. Find your passion, fuel it, and make it work for you. And if you think about it, life's biggest success could very well be just on the other side of your passion. Until next time, when Get the Facts brings you more information you need to know, I'm Carrie-Ann Smith-McIntosh. Thanks for watching. Take care.
I'm sure my neighbors hear the screams and cries.
I'm sure by now they've seen the bruises through my oversized glasses.
Can they tell I'm depressed when we speak?
Are they counting my frequent days off from work?
Domestic violence is any pattern of behavior used by an individual to maintain control or power over another. Domestic violence is not just physical, it can also be verbal. If you're in a relationship where you are being abused or know of anyone, get out and speak up. Report domestic violence by calling 119 or the nearest police station. Get out before someone puts you out.
Women continue to break down gender barriers all over the world. Meet Liz Levy, a successful female farmer.
I got into farming because my hobby was gardening. I was nuts about plants, flowers. So it was kind of a natural area to look for when I was looking for something to do. I started in an area that didn't have water, so I was not able to irrigate. And with climate change, it made things really, really unpredictable, very risky, and just difficult. So I don't consider myself as having really started farming until I moved into this agro park, where I was able to irrigate and do things in an optimal way.
Amity All is approximately 2,400 acres. We have 22 investors, 5 of which are female. The soil is predominantly Sydenham clay, and the crops that do well here, we have the cucurbits. That would include pumpkins, sweet potatoes, zucchini, squash. Also, a few tubers do very well, sweet potatoes and cassava. Those crops do very well. We also have a lot of farmers who have gone into the Scotch bonnet pepper, and they're also doing very well. Once we manage the water application with the type of soil that we have and give proper nutrition, these crops do very well.
Life has been a learning experience primarily because of the Sydenham clay, but I don't know if that's particular to this park. I think anywhere that you go, you have to learn to work with what you have. So it's been a learning experience, and but one good thing about it is that you see the rewards at the end of the day because you're able to irrigate or fertigate, which is fertilizing through the irrigation system. So you're getting closer. I see myself inching closer and closer to the point where I'll get optimal yields, which is what every farmer wants. Everything that I produce goes to food processors. And the particular processor that I sell to, 90% of their output is exported. So I like to think that I'm a part of that whole chain that is earning foreign exchange for the country. I plant only hot peppers. I'm trying this year to try and stretch myself and learn other things. So I'm hoping on the boundaries I've created little areas where I'm going to do some experimentation. But for now, I'm only doing hot peppers and specifically Scotch bonnet. I've set myself the challenge of trying to master that because of the two types that we grow here in Jamaica, that definitely is the most demanding one. So still going up the learning curve. I think the reason why I settled on peppers is because you can sell it. You don't have to scratch your head and wonder where you're going to sell it. Because most of the processors have back orders, export orders. And in fact, we've found ourselves in the situation in Jamaica where processors have to import pepper mash. So you will never, ever have a problem selling your product. If you never went to farm school, if you don't really have experience, try to get into a situation where people are readily accessible to give you that encouragement, not just advice, technical advice, but also encouragement, because sometimes you may go through a little period where you feel, wow, is this really worth it? And that support is valuable. But that's one thing. In terms of practical advice, don't go anywhere without water. Just don't go anywhere without water. That's the mistake I made. And the second thing is try to farm reasonably close to where you live. Another mistake that I made, because how often you go to your farm, the hours you put in, it shows. The further away you live, you try and cut corners here and cut corners there, and it will show.
When you come to Amityville, there are a few things. There are things here that can help to foster your production. One, we have a team of stakeholders working together to cater to your needs. We have the RAD extension officers, we have the persons from NIC, we have the team from AIC. We also have a group of farmers that are willing to work together to help to move the produce not from the ground to the plate.
Motorists, when driving on the road, here are some simple reminders. Look out for and extend courtesy to all road users. Give plenty of room to pedestrians, especially in wet weather. Drive slowly. No bother wet them up. Slow down when approaching a pedestrian crossing or school, and always be prepared to stop. Remember, a school zone is a 30-kilometer zone. Cut your speed. Drivers of large and slow-moving vehicles should always keep in the far left hand of a dual carriageway. Keep it simple. Drive left and pass right. These are just simple reminders of your road duties. Drive safely.
The strength of a woman is the love which she has within. She feels deeply and loves fiercely. She's caring, nurturing, someone you oftentimes can't do without. Let us work together to protect our women and our men and children for that matter. On this Women's Day, let us all make a pledge to do something special for the women out there to make them feel appreciated as we continue on our journey of making Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
Almighty God, creator and sustainer of life, we are humbled by your acts of kindness to us over the years. You have journeyed with us through the bitter years of slavery and have brought us the gift of our emancipation.
We thank you for those who, with determination, have led the way to our freedom.
We celebrate another act of your goodness.
We have matured. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. We give you jubilant praise and thanks, oh God.
Gracious God, despite our shortcomings, we have much for which to give you thanks. You have been faithful to us in good times and in challenging times. We pause to give you thanks for all your expressions of love, O God. We celebrate and give thanks for the harmony that exists among us.
Truly, we are living witnesses of what it means to be out of many, one people.
We give you thanks for the infrastructural developments that have taken place over the years. We celebrate and give you thanks, O God, for the giftedness of our people, their kindness and creativity, their indomitable spirit that have resulted in excellence in all areas here at home and within the diaspora.
Oh God, we truly love our country, and we thank you for making us a special people admired by the world.
We thank you for all the men and women and young people and children who continue to play their part to make their mark towards our ongoing development. Almighty God, as we move forward, we place Jamaica land we love into your care. Watch over us, enlarge our territory, allow the reign of your peace and justice among us. Establish your kingdom among us and help us to realize our full potential. We ask this in your high and exalted name. Amen.
Thanks for watching another edition of Jamaica Magazine. Join us again tomorrow when we'll do this all over again. Send your feedback on today's show to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm. Also, follow us on our social media pages and download our app on your Apple and Android devices. And you can also visit our website at www.jis.gov.jm for more information. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Cameo takes you behind the scenes of Jamaica's exploding creative industries to give you an insider's look at how creatives get the job done.
I'm really picky about how we treat our customers.
As creative people, we went a little bit over the top.
Each week, we interview innovators leading the charge in their industry. The chaos of creativity meets the stricture of structure on Business Access TV's Cameo.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
I'd just like to welcome everybody today, and I'm sure that you'll agree that this is a perfect way to start the new year. Opening this impressive building where we now have two extraordinary companies located. Concentrix, our anchor client, and one of the largest BPO operators, and the other tenant is Jamaica's own Unique Vacations, and they're doing all the customer service and reservations for the Sandals resorts that are located throughout the Caribbean. It's phenomenal to host these two companies and such an honor for the Free Zone. And we want to thank them for their confidence of locating here. There have been many detractors of the industry out there, making uninformed and negative statements about working conditions. And this is why we're so fortunate to have a Prime Minister that is pro-business, pro-growth, and sees clearly the incredible value that BPO brings to the Jamaican economy. And the industry's ability to provide jobs at an unrivaled rate. And without these work opportunities, many of these people that are employed here would join a generation of lost and unemployable people. So for those of you too young to know or too old to remember, or if you're not from Montego Bay, I'd like to give you a little history. While we're sitting here now was not long ago a pasture. And a little further in that direction, where the BNS and Fontana and the cinema are located, was a cane piece. In 2002, I was serving on the board of JAMPRO, and then the portfolio minister was Philip Paulwell, and he was bringing some BPO investors down here. I don't know if Conrad was yet at JAMPRO, but he was bringing some investors to establish a BPO operation by helicopter, and he asked me to meet him in this very spot, which was a pasture. And I got here 15 minutes before the helicopter arrived, and I couldn't believe the amount of cows in this very spot. So when the helicopter came, of course, the cows went crazy, stampeded, and the investors came off the helicopter very shocked. And unfortunately, we didn't get that investment. That same minister, in what was called youthful exuberance, promised the country 40,000 jobs within 3 years. And guess what? It's taken us 15 years, but we are on the cusp to surpass that 40,000 jobs. And in this Free Zone alone, with this building, we passed the 10,000 employment of the Free Zone alone. An incredible milestone. our Prime Minister, who from day one has not only declared BPO as his primary growth strategy, but has walked the walk by making investments in building BPO space that ensures that we're ready for business and that the growth is real. In this industry, if you don't have space and infrastructure to offer clients, they will simply move their investment plans elsewhere. So today, to be at the same spot in this old pasture where we recently visited our Prime Minister with his shovel, breaking ground for what we now see behind us, makes this an incredible day and one we can all be proud of. This building will provide a living for over 2,000 families for years to come and provide foreign exchange earnings that we all desperately need to support the economic recovery that Jamaica was promised for so long, and we're finally seeing for the first time in most of our lives. I want to thank you, Prime Minister, and your team of hard-working ministers for your advocacy and your determination in having the free zone succeed. And of course, the PAJ staff under the leadership of Gordon Shirley and Gloria Henry, who forms part of that through the Montego Bay Free Zone, and the respective boards of directors. I see that entire row in the front there is our Free Zone Board of Directors, and we have Port Authority directors here, and former Free Zone chairman here, and my father is here, and so many others. And I have to acknowledge my wife and my mother, or else I'll be really in trouble. So protocols have been observed, and I don't want to list everybody, but there are probably several people I've missed, and the mayor. But I would like to thank you all and just say that being here today is a very, very special moment, and as I said, a great way that I'm starting my year, and I hope you feel the same way. Welcome and thank you.
Great design is not only how things look, but also how well they work. The GLC, more than meets the eye.
The Good Life, your weekly dose of information on nutrition, wellness, and fitness. Discover ways to nurture your mind, body, and spirit.
It really is a pleasure for PAJ to be a partner in the development of your great city, Mr. Mayor. This is the fastest growing municipal center in Jamaica and probably in the Caribbean, actually. Aside from our investments here, which I'll speak about in a moment, I wanted to signal that we are also investors in a neighboring Freeport terminal. This is one of the, it's a significant investment for Port Authority, and because it is such a secret, allow me for just 1 second to tell you a little bit about what we have been doing over in Freeport. Over the past 2 years, we have renovated the main cruise terminal at berths 5 and 6 and constructed a new one at berth 2 to accommodate the expansion of home porting. We have also developed new ground transport management facilities over there. And as a result, Montego Bay is now the fastest growing cruise terminal in the country. We have facilitated the construction of Fortress's new LNG facility, And we have dredged the harbor to accommodate even larger cruise ships and cargo facilities. Currently, we are constructing a new cargo at berth 1, a new cargo facility at berth 1. We are expanding berth 2 to accommodate the largest cruise vessels. We are investing in new cargo handling equipment, reach stackers, terminal trucks, and so on. We are implementing a new automated terminal operating system and implementing a new port community system. Over $35 million is being spent in the neighboring facility, which is intended to transform that facility into the most dynamic and significant mixed terminal anywhere in the Caribbean. And as important as it is for us to be developing in those facilities, a mandate of the Port Authority is to develop the near port areas in immediate proximity of our terminals with a view to creating economic growth and job creation. And the most dynamic near port facility that we have is the Montego Bay Free Port. The Board of Montego Bay Free Zone and the Board of Port Authority were early in recognizing the growth in markets such as analytics and market research, engineering design, medical transcription, health information management, financial and legal process outsourcing, publishing and outsourcing of R&D. Our objective is to capitalize on the growth of this knowledge process outsourcing segment and to transform the zone in a manner that makes it attractive for firms to want to perform these types of services here in Jamaica and here in the Montego Bay Free Zone. This effort is already bearing success. Examples of this include the fact that Numerator, one of the clients here, is providing market intelligence and complex CRM services. Software development for desktop and mobile applications is being provided by Avonmark. Shared services in finance and accounting is being provided by Advanced Call Center Technology and Conduent. Medical transcription is being provided by Infinity Behavioral Health Services. Data analytics by Numerator. Payroll processing, corporate filings, and corporate support by Conduent. And market campaign, advertising, and promotion by Centerfield Media. The investment of approximately $10 million in this new 63,000 square foot facility, which is being opened today, is a reflection of the commitment to creating the kinds of facility suitable for accommodating the companies that wish to perform these higher value added services here in Jamaica. It is designed with the employees in mind and with all the necessary amenities and features of the best BPO centers anywhere in the globe. With this new facility, an additional 1,500 to 2,000 jobs, as Mark mentioned, will be accommodated. And the zone is now, we are proud to say that the zone is now home to 10,600 good-paying jobs, impacting the lives of our young graduates and their families.
Ladies and gentlemen, a decade and a half ago, I responded to an advertisement looking for a client services manager, and I felt it was Port Authority, so I applied for that job. And I had a choice at the time, two financial institutions, but because I knew Port Authority is the place to work, and it had all that lovely reputation, so I chose to come here. And 1 week into the job, when I realized it was a free zone, I was dying. I was like, oh my God. And I remember going into my office one day and I said, Lord, it's not too late to call in CV. Please give me a direction because I don't know if I can cope with this job. And then to make it worse, I walked out of my office and there was a customer ranting and raging about a problem. And then he said to me, so how long are you planning to be here? And I was like, oh my God, so people don't stay here. So I was really worried. But then I got the divine word and I was divinely led, and here am I. And you know, we were perhaps about 20-something% occupied in our warehousing space and vacant in many of our building spaces. We use car parks to play football and volleyball and netball, and we use empty buildings to store stuff for anybody who wanted to store things because we had so many spaces. But in 5 years, we were full. We were 100% occupied. And At that time, we advanced a proposal under the chairman of Mr. Dare to put up this building. Well, 9 years later, here we are. But we are here because of the effort, the contribution, the blood, sweat, and tears, the toiling of many, many, many persons. Not just the Port Authority, but the unsung heroes who work in this industry. Those who have launched businesses here that have gone global, those whose business have gone and listed on the stock exchange in the US, those who serve Fortune 500 and Fortune 100 customers, those whose work make Jamaica looks like the best place, and it is the best place indeed in the world. Those whose work stand out against any first world country. These are the people who work in the BPO centers. They represent diversity. So I know you hear a lot about the call center, but call center is not all that we do. Yes, that's where we started. And you know, you don't want to shake off your history completely. You heard some of the things that Professor articulated earlier that we're doing in this business. And so today we want to invite some of our workers who have been here, who have worked in different segments of the business, to share with you in 2 minutes some of their testimonials.
I have been with Teleperformance since the inception of the company. That's 20 years ago. So yes, I have been with Teleperformance for 20 years. After graduating high school, it was clear I was unable to immediately afford college, and so I made the decision to work. I started as an agent and was promoted to a manager 3 years later. Through my hard work, high display of professionalism, and consistency with effectively managing a team, I was further promoted to an assistant call center manager. I have played multiple roles, lead roles in the organization, such as the lead engagement coordinator, guest speaker at Jump, and I'll talk briefly about what Jump is. So within Teleperformance, we have a program that we develop our agents to become leaders. So the Jump program, so we can basically promote from within. So that's like a synopsis of what the Jump program is. And a motivational speaker to the new hires. I have led multiple charges as it relates to growth and development in the organization. I have mentored several of my peers and has changed the lives of many through my testimonies. I am known to speak the hard truth. With honest persona, there's not a question with the heart for my job. I have significant strides in the career and personal development. I am now a call center manager and with direct oversight of over 500 employees. I have a great deal for passion for excellence. I'm a mother, a wife, and currently a student at the Montego Bay Community College, where I'm pursuing my bachelor's degree in business management. The BPO has provided an avenue not only for creating jobs in the country, but it's also one of the leading income generators of the economy. My role in the BPO industry is critical to the business, as I am given the task of reviewing the root causes, as well as identifying and implement various strategies to improve the program Teleperformance, as well as mitigating any loss for refinancials. My current roles allow me to play a vital role in managing important clients, vendor relationships, etc. I have no regrets in starting my career in the BPO sector. I say to the BPO, and especially my company, Teleperformance, thank you for my personal growth and success to date. And I leave you with my mantra: aspire to be the best on the team, aspire to be the best for the team. Thank you.
I started in the Montego Bay Free Zone at Vistaprint in 2003. So I've been here for 15 years. My career didn't start here, but I can bet you that, and I can tell you that if I have the opportunity, I would stay here. Working at the Free Zone has given me opportunities to experience first world technologies. to manage people, to interact with personalities across the globe, not only in Jamaica. And that is something that I believe every Jamaican needs to experience. I believe every Jamaican, as a matter of fact, should endeavor to be a part of the Montego Bay Free Zone and be a part of the BPO sector, because it opens opportunities, it opens our eyes. I believe that this is something that, if it wasn't here, we would have been lacking in a lot of ways. So thank you very much for being here and for giving us the opportunity to have a job, to make a life for ourselves, and to be the best person that we can be.
Dodge & Global Marketing Strategy Consulting. Marketing isn't a department, it's a system. Having an integrated and cohesive marketing plan allows each marketing technique to support the others, thereby creating a synergy of branding and growth for your business. Dodge & Global can assist you in making smart decisions with lasting value in regard to the following key decisions. Determine if there is a paying market for your products and services. Craft long-term and short-term marketing goals. Define marketing campaigns. Create marketing strategies. Select powerful marketing techniques to reach your audience. Choose a brand and image that reflects your core message. Design marketing materials. Design internet marketing strategies. Track marketing results to determine the strongest techniques. Because it's so important to create an integrated marketing strategy that will bring in business. Get advice and mentoring from people who are already successful marketing experts. Our team can help you make smarter, more effective decisions. Let's have a conversation. Contact us at email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
Throughout my 13 years with Teleperformance Alliance 1, I have great success stories. I must say, I've started with this company as an agent. Throughout that 13 years, I've grown, moved in different areas such as a QA supervisor, assistant center manager, and currently I hold the position as a contact center manager. Thank you. I've been given various opportunities within Teleperformance. One of the greatest things for me is I have given the opportunity to help to build interaction with employees, to mold employees to be better leaders and upcoming leaders of tomorrow. Within this organization, there are great deeds towards myself in terms of building personal growth and assisting me with my family. Within my 13 years, could I ever think of where do I go from here? It's hard for me to decide. Why? Throughout this 13 years, my confidence, that self-esteem that I've built throughout the year, with support of leaders such as, of course, I will not leave out saying my direct manager, Jake Becker, and other fellow co-workers. Currently, I'm so proud wearing the latest achievement within Teleperformance is I was recently enrolled in Teleperformance University. Now, you may wonder what this is. It's the university created by the company. This exists for the past 10 years. And I'm pleased to say for 8 months ago, I was enrolled in this program. The opportunity that it allows me is I join this college. I get a chance to travel. My last travel was in Brazil. This is a big deal for me. That's 2 months ago I get to go to Brazil. I have an upcoming trip that will be in Philippines. I'm excited about that one as well. And of course, graduation in Greece. These are my dream places to visit, and so I'll say thanks to Teleperformance for that.
My name is Corrine Phillips Brown. I have over 12 years of experience in the BPO industry. I started out as a hard trainee in the accounting department. With my experience gathered in this sector and through self-study, I completed my career as a chartered accountant. I am now a member of the international body of ACCA and also the local body of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Jamaica. With my qualification and experience, I am now the finance manager of a 1,900-seat, Fortune 500 BPO company. I was instrumental in starting the accounting operation here in Jamaica. This has seen, because of the success, several other accounting jobs being migrated. In the process, we are planning to expand our shared services division. Some of my tasks as an accountant include financial statement reporting, analysis, and consolidation. My plan is to continue in this sector. I am really passionate about working in the BPO industry. Thank you.
I am the managing director for Avantmark Technologies. We were formerly Indusa Global, and we have been in the free zone for the past 2 years. But Indusa has been around for almost 20 years. Now, we are on the ground floor of Data Building 3, right on the same building with Market Track. We have 11 employees. We have 8 programmers, 3 accounting and data entry staff that are responsible for the accounting needs of 2 of our clients. All our employees are Jamaican-born, Jamaican-educated, going to University of UTEC, University of the West Indies, and NCU. Combined, all of our employees, we have over 50 years of programming experience. Though we are a small company, we have developed software applications, both web and mobile, for the health, transport, and the tourism sector for both the US, for clients in the US as well as in the Caribbean. Currently, we're working on a logistics platform for a large freight brokerage and transportation management company in Colorado. Another project that we're currently working on is building a custom CRM system for that same logistics customer that has already improved the way this logistic client services its customers. These systems all leverage the power of cloud computing, mobile applications, and will eventually use machine learning and artificial intelligence to provide our clients with any advantage that they can in that very competitive market. What makes us different from any other software development firm? It's not that we have the best programmers. We do have some really good ones, but we can hold our own with anyone in the world. It's not that we have the best facilities. We're getting there, though. It's not that we have the best salaries. We're going to get there, though. But what we do is that we have a passion for technology. We embrace modern technology and are not afraid to implement it in solutions where we see that it provides an advantage to our clients. We're agile in our approach to work, so we can adapt quickly to changes. We believe in automation first, so we can free people to focus more on value-added tasks and building stronger customer relations for their employers. And above all, we have the best 11 people that anybody could ask for. Our small team of 11 programmers pulls together like a well-oiled machine. Finally, we don't intend to stay small forever. We may never grow to the size of some of our neighbors due to the sheer nature of our jobs, but we intend to leave a mark on this free zone where we aren't always known by the address relative to our neighbors. So for example, the door across from Unique Vacations, who have now migrated to the east side, or the building that Market Track is on. But by our work and our impact, we have on the community and Jamaica. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly represent Avantmark Technologies. Thank you.
Dodge & Global Marketing Strategy Consulting. Marketing isn't a department, it's a system. Having an integrated and cohesive marketing plan allows each marketing technique to support the others, thereby creating a synergy of branding and growth for your business. Dodge & Global can assist you in making smart decisions with lasting value in regard to the following key decisions. Determine if there is a paying market for your products and services. Craft long-term and short-term marketing goals. Define marketing campaigns. Create marketing strategies. Select powerful marketing techniques to reach your audience. Choose a brand and image that reflects your core message. Design marketing materials. Design internet marketing strategies. Track marketing results to determine the strongest techniques. Because it's so important to create an integrated marketing strategy that will bring in business. Get advice and mentoring from people who are already successful marketing experts. Our team can help you make smarter, more effective decisions. Let's have a conversation. Contact us at email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
Sundays at 4:30 p.m. It's all about Home Sweet Home. Get your half-hour dose of the business of real estate, from laws and concepts to reality, building, buying, or renting. Or what about trends in decor or renovations? Home Sweet Home will keep you up to date.
The government of Jamaica has 4 main lines of effort that lead into one main objective. And these are the sound fiscal management and financial management of the public's affairs. The second is to create and support the conditions for private sector-led growth. The third is to create meaningful employment for all Jamaicans, but the broader picture is to ensure that all Jamaicans are involved in work. The fourth is to ensure the security and safety and peace of communities and households within Jamaica. And all of these lead into the ultimate objective of securing Jamaica's economic independence. I believe that if you assess the performance of the government on its lines of effort, you will come to the conclusion that the government can report significant success. For example, there is no question that the government has achieved major success in ensuring the fiscal certainty of our economy. The debt has been reduced from 141% of GDP to this year we will be just below 100% of GDP. And that is the ultimate index. But there are other things that we should measure fiscal performance on. And that is, for example, the government has seen significant investments taking place in the development of infrastructure. But a large part of that does not rely on the government's fiscal accounts. In other words, we have pursued the expansion of infrastructure and capital formation without having to rely on the budget of the government. Now, this is a perfect example. The PAJ, out of its own resources, that is the Port Authority of Jamaica, out of its own resources, have made this investment, and this investment will bring a financial windfall. Maybe windfall is too much, but certainly profit that you can use to reinvest. But the policy of the government is that all its public bodies must stand financially sound and fiscally certain on their own. And all the assets that they have, we must see to their full utilization. So all the warehouses that are empty, all the parking lots that are now volleyball and football fields, all the real estate that are unoccupied and unused, all the lands that are just growing wild bush, we must find appropriate and high value usage for them. And that strategy has worked. And I want to commend the Port Authority of Jamaica in being at the lead in fulfilling that strategy, in ensuring that our port facilities are being developed, in ensuring that our BPO facilities, those that exist and the new ones that are being developed. And whilst this facility may be the most modern in the Port Authority's portfolio of BPO facilities, I happen to know that the work in Portmore, the Portmore, what is it called? In Informatics Park, the PIP, that will be an ultra-modern facility and will probably eclipse what is being done here. In as much as we are pushing forward to see the development of the infrastructure and supporting capital formation without call on the government budget. I mean, the government has to have some involvement, but where these things are commercial in nature, we believe that it should be the private sector or corporately operated public agencies that do them. But the government must also look at the landscape and look to the horizon, because I've often said that, you know, the ship of state is almost like a submarine. It's under sea. It doesn't always see the big picture or the horizon, and so it has to have a periscope that looks up above the water and can see what is to come. Governments have to analyze future risks. So we are making investments now, but one thing of which we are certain is that conditions will change. They can change for the better, or they can change for the worse. One thing we must ensure is that whatever the change that occurs, Jamaica is in a position to survive and be resilient. That is, be able to recover very quickly from adverse change or take advantage of opportunities that present themselves. And so the government must always be forward-looking. And in that forward-looking stance, the government must say, what are the risks that are on the horizon for our fiscal certainty? What are the risks that could cause the government to have to, for example, put on more taxes on people? What are the risks, for example, that could cause the government to incur more debt? And from now, try to avoid those risks. So our strategy of ensuring that the private sector, along with corporately run public agencies, take on the risks of developing infrastructure and capital formation, that strategy works for the people of Jamaica, because it ensures that at no time will there be a call on you, the public, to pay for any eventualities that may happen, and that paying for means either higher taxes or we have to cut services.
I started out selling out of the trunk of my car.
If everybody think the same way, everybody going in the same line.
Being an entrepreneur takes everything that you've got.
Weekends? What's weekends? We work on a weekend.
There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
But you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything is okay.
We believed in ourselves and our families believed in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity, why we are all here doing what we're doing now.
Hi, it's Novia MacDonald-White, Senior Associate Editor at the Jamaica Observer. And guess what? You are watching Business Access Television.
In its present state, Petrojam is a fiscal risk to the government. The truth is that after the JPS ceases to be its major customer by virtue of a decision that the government made to diversify its fuel mix to include LNG, which is a more stable fuel in terms of its commodity pricing, and probably better in the long run for Jamaica, and a more efficient fuel from an environmental perspective. We took that decision. When we took the decision, we should have also considered the other impacts of that decision, which means that Petrojam could lose, or will lose, 50% of its custom. That could mean, very well mean, that the operations of Petrojam could become a call on the government. And I use the term government, but I shouldn't, because in the consciousness of Jamaica, the Jamaican people see the government as separate from them, which is not the case. The government is just the accumulation of you. So if it is a call on the government's purse is a collection from your pocket. And that's what it is. It is going to be a call on your pocket. So I am not running a government that is under siege, not knowing what is coming in the future, as we have had governments do in the past. And then we happen upon situations. And those who are being critical of the government now should explain why it is we are happening up on situations that are creating fiscal risks for the government. This government is giving the people of Jamaica the commitment that we will not just manage the situations that exist now, but we are managing the situations to come. And you can be assured that the government I lead will always make decisions in the interest of the Jamaican people first. So you may be wondering, what's the connection? But I hope you see that the strategy of the government in doing all of this is about this line of effort in ensuring that Jamaica's government, meaning the collection of your pockets, is fiscally sound. On the line of effort of creating employment, that the government has done exceptionally well. 1.3 million Jamaicans are employed. That's the highest number since the recorded history of the statistic. Now, that's a commitment we made, and we intend to continue to push for greater employment because I believe we can reach full employment, and we are not far away from it. We recognize that training and education is a constraint on our growth and employment prospects. Kind of ironic, isn't it? But it is the truth. Our education system, its output, our socialization coming from our households, are all impacting on the rate at which we increase our employment. I have here today, of course, the chairman of HEART, Mr. Edward Gabidon. And he knows that I've been breathing down the neck of HEART to put in place an effective strategy of training persons for the BPO industry. I know that they have an effort underway, and it has made an impact. But I'm always concerned when I hear of situations that a BPO enterprise opened just a few doors down, and then the BPO enterprise that was always in existence would come to work on a Monday morning, and half its staff is gone over to the next BPO. And then they are in a quandary and a scurry trying to find replacements. We hear those stories, and the government takes it seriously. We must rapidly increase our training to support the expansion of the industry. It can't be that we have investors here and we are not supplying very quickly the quality trained workers. We have to get cracking on that in a more aggressive way. And it is not that we don't have the people. You know where they are? Some of them are in lottery scamming. Some of them are in crime. And many of them are at home sitting down doing nothing. And when you go to them, well, me can't leave my baby. Or they hide. Because I've seen the reports. We have gone into communities with programs offering people to be trained, and they refuse to take it. Why? It is clear that the policy of the government can't be just employment. The policy of the government has to be to create a culture of work. So, I want to thank you, because if you let me, I'll go on and on and on. But I want to thank you for being such a good audience and for listening. And again, let me congratulate the PAJ and the team for bringing this project to fruition. I gather now you would be above 10,600 persons employed here, and that the BPO sector in terms of its employment is now in excess of 36,000 persons, in excess of 36,000. I'm certain that before the year is out, we should be close to 40, if not passing it. My view, and I continue to maintain it, is that we could have hundreds of thousands of persons employed in the BPO sector, providing we can release the constraint of the trained labor force and build out the spaces. As it has turned out, it has been easier to build out the spaces than to relieve the constraint of employment. But I give the assurance that we are working on both. God bless you all. Happy New Year. Health, prosperity, happiness, and peace.
Doggin Global is an integrated multidisciplinary professional service firm in the Caribbean region. We are integrated as one regional firm and provide several professional services, including audit and assurance, advisory, tax, risk, and legal. Our advisory services focus on our clients' most critical issues and opportunities: strategy, marketing, organization, operations, technology, transformation, digital, advanced analytics, corporate finance, mergers and acquisitions, and sustainability across all industries and geographies. Growing your business through mergers and acquisition, raising finance, or looking to join public markets requires specialist advice. Doggin Global provide a full range of corporate finance services, from initial assessment of strategy through to deal completion. In-depth knowledge of industry sectors and markets provides valuable insight into specific opportunities and risks for your company. Our corporate finance specialists assist clients to develop an acquisition approach, identify targets or interested parties, instigate negotiations, and help conclude transactions. Our global reach allows us to provide advice and local knowledge to assist with foreign acquisitions and sales. How Doggin Global can help. If you're looking to sell your business or plan an exit strategy, Doggin Global can help you with initial preparation, valuation, and marketing to potential investors, negotiation through to tax minimization and investment planning. Doggin Global corporate finance includes business valuations, raising finance, financial restructuring, negotiations and vendor protections, IPOs or flotation, management buyouts or ins, key management incentive schemes, succession planning and development, preparing businesses for sale, exit strategies, contact information, website www.doggin.global, email info@doggin.global, Caribbean headquarters, Doggin Global, Doggin Towers, 4749, Trinidad Terrace, Kingston 5, Jamaica. Telephone 876-929-2518, 876-926-5210, 876-630-2011.
My name is Levon Flynn, and you're watching Business Access TV. Serious about business.
This new building brings new opportunity to Montego Bay as a city of which we are in the Caribbean, and we are the fastest developing city in the Caribbean. But this new building will mean thousands of new jobs for young people, not only from St. James, but from adjoining parishes. And wherever job opportunities are created for the multiplier effect. And it is very good for Montego Bay for us to be opening this over 60,000 square foot of space here today. The Montego Bay is known as the hospitality location in the Caribbean. We are more hospitable than any other parts of Jamaica and the Caribbean. The expatriates feel very comfortable, feel very welcome, feel very accommodative when they are here to do business, right? So it is a natural fit for us here in Montego Bay to embrace our expatriates, to embrace our local investors, and to embrace our new workers that are working in this free zone area, which the last count that I had, we have probably over 12,000 persons employed in the BPO sector in Montego Bay. And just having a discussion in another 3 to 4 years, it might be up to 15,000, 16,000. So it is growing. So Montego Bay is the place for BPO. I know it is being branched out in other areas of Jamaica, which I commend that also. But Montego Bay will be the preferred destination because we are the hospitality capital of the Caribbean. We in St. James, we are ahead of the rest because the Artrust NTA, the high schools, the secondary schools are integral. They go into the school and when they have their student awareness as it relates to job opportunities, the BPO sector plays a very, very pivotal role. And I must say to you, this is an era in which is a good start for any young persons. Because to leave school with 2 or 3 CXC subjects, you know that in most cases you can't go into college with that. You can't go to a university with that. But you can enter the BPO sector, earn yourself much more than what you would have been earning if you were sitting down at home, and build your capacity from there. So it is a good start for those who did not achieve the 5, 6, 7 subjects to move on to college and to move on to university. So I would encourage all young people who have acquired 1, 2, 3, 4 subjects and they want to make a start in life to start at the BPO. It is a steady and growing industry. And I know a lot of them that started, and a number of them now are in supervisory position, big supervisory position, taking home working and living salary. So, I mean, I must tell you, you can know when they just started working. You know, they don't look that bouncy, but after 3 months and the hairstyle change, the whole makeup change, the clothing change, and you know that they're making money. and they are earning their way to prosperity.
As an iconic building, it demonstrates that we are committed to a world-class type of facility for the services that are offered here. We're also keen on moving upscale from just the normal call center type operations to more knowledge-based operations. And we believe that those jobs will be even more attractive to the graduates from our university system, as well as those that you asked about, which are those who want to work and study. Students in some of these areas, the areas that I've spoken about, law, finance, medicine, and so on, will want to have jobs that relate to the things that they are studying. And the opportunity then to be working here and going to the Western Jamaica campus or the other campuses in the region would be very attractive for them. The manager of the facility, Gloria Henry, is already has collaborations with the community center here. So there are a number of students who are workers here, employees here in the center, but who are pursuing degrees and other programs at the community center. So there's quite a symbiotic relationship between the university system and what we have here, going here at the Montego Bay Free Zone.
BPO is excellent for Montego Bay. Gives a lot of employment, has a lot of people, and is expanding very rapidly. And it will be a big future for the town. And with the bypass road coming next year, makes a huge difference to Montego Bay.
So my name is Deborah Fraser. I'm the CEO for Caribbean HR Solutions. We are an HR outsourcing company. So we support, for the most part, business process outsourcing players who are coming into Jamaica and help them to launch and to find all of their staff, to develop their HR programs, and to keep them in compliance with Jamaican labor laws. So this new building is really very, very impressive. Jamaica has been successful at attracting the top outsourcers globally, and that's responsible for providing really great quality jobs. So companies all over the world are turning to outsourcing their core and non-core activities. And Jamaica has been very, very successful at showing the world that we have bright, talented people who can work in several types of jobs, including quality analysts, workforce managers, service and sales, IT. I mean, it's amazing. So the building really does represent a lot of hard work that's gone into building this industry. So we're happy to support it.
The opening of this new building is significant. It means growth, it means development for our country, it means providing more jobs for our people. So I think this is a great move and a move in the right direction for us here in Montego Bay and by extension Jamaica.
The building is state-of-the-art, top-notch. Professor Shirley and Gloria Henry really helped Concentrix get a smooth launch in Jamaica, which to date we've built just under 500 seats on the ground floor of this building and a rapid expansion into Kingston. So kind of without the support from them, we would not have been able to expand into Kingston as fast as possible because the facility we got was in top-notch shape. So I think it's a great, great step.
weekly dose of information on nutrition, wellness, and fitness. Discover ways to nurture your mind, body, and spirit.
This week on Home Sweet Home, we go around Jamaica to visit a few of our most historical homes, each with their own little story. Our first stop, let's find out.
I'm Melissa Brown, Director of Cockpit Country Adventure Tours. Cockpit Country Adventure Tours came about out of the Southern Trelawney Environmental Agency's need for conservation of the Cockpit Country area and as a means of sustaining that organization and providing economic opportunities for persons living within the area. Southern Trelawney Environmental Agency started in 1996, but Cockpit Country Adventure Tour started in about 2011 as a serious income generating arm of Southern Trelawney Environmental Agency. We offer caving, hiking, picnicking, bird watching, and general rural adventures in and around Cockpit Country. So we cater to locals, so your clubs and societies and your local church groups, we cater for that. We cater for our educational tours, for schools doing CSEC and CAPE exams, the school-based assessment programs for those, and also overseas guests. And those include both long-stay visitors as well as day passengers on cruise ships and so on. The organization Cockpit Country Adventure Tours is largely funded by individuals. It's really our sweat equity. We've also had funding from the Jamaica Social Investment Fund for the infrastructure that you see, the trail on which you walked and the restroom and changing facilities. That was donated by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund. We've also had funding from the Environmental Foundation of Jamaica, which kind of supported our program in the initial startup phases. When the idea of income generation came about, they were the initial funders who assisted us in generating the idea and formulating and conceptualizing. The money initially went into establishing the groundwork, doing the feasibility, getting the community mobilized, getting individuals in the mindset of a business, changing the whole orientation of the organization. So there was never any real capital injection in the form of cash. We mostly were supported by donor agencies who are more inclined to, doing like the infrastructure, like I said with JSIF, just doing programs related to the organization. So we did a lot of awareness. We did a lot of awareness that was supported by the Environmental Foundation of Jamaica. Actually going around and getting this site was another project that was funded by EFJ. So we went all around Cockpit Country, we visited locations, and this one came out to be our most sought after. Having promoted it for a while, it became our most sought after attraction. So This location was selected for its natural beauty and for the willingness of the persons in the area to participate towards achieving our conservation objective. We also have persons who are from the area. All our workers or tour guides are from this community, and it just makes the product evolve naturally. 80% of our staff are from this community. They are persons who roam the cave as children and who know it personally, who are very intimate with it. The other 20% are from the local area, the wider community, so not specifically Rock Spring, but Albertown and its environs. So we usually send out a message into the community that we are recruiting, that we need more persons. And we also ask our tour guides, just to recruit persons they know. So we usually get the best of the best from the community, and people it's natural to them, it's doing what they do naturally for fun as a means of generating income. So it falls naturally. The culture in our organization is it's very friendly, it's very easygoing. There's hardly a hierarchy, so to speak. Everyone interacts on the same level. However, when it comes to work, everyone knows how to fall in line and do what is expected of them. So it's very easy, it's very easygoing. There's hardly anyone who can complain about any work pressure, because we meet regularly, we train our guides, our staff regularly. Everybody is conversant with what happens within the organization. There's a clear transparency with all aspects of the operations. So we really have an open culture in our organization. We really customize our tours, so that we like to start a tour at, say, 9:30, 10 o'clock. However, our guides would come in, the staff would come in a little earlier, and we set up for the operations. A tour lasts approximately an hour and a half, and we also, depending on the size of the group, we may provide lunch. So a typical day would probably last until maybe 4 o'clock, 4:30, but it may even go on to 6 o'clock, because sometimes the guests are enjoying themselves so much that they may stay over. But again, because of the camaraderie between the staff, the time flies without us even knowing that the time is passing. So we really pay little attention to time. Being an entrepreneur is an interesting thing. You don't really fit into the regular scheme of things when it comes to persons with 9 to 5. So you really don't have money to like them or like others who do their 9 to 5, and your activities are probably I don't want to say curtailed, but it's structured differently. So you may be called upon to do something outside of a time when a regular 9 to 5 person would be called. And also because our operation is virtual too, so we're always at work. As an entrepreneur, you're always at work. Basically, we work from home sometimes, and you're always at work. It doesn't really affect family per se, because you get more time. You have more time for your family because of the nature of our business. And where we are, especially rural Jamaica, to find a job that suits your qualification, you probably would have had to go outside of the area to find a suitable job. Now, being an entrepreneur here helps you to stay with your family, and to maintain relationships on the local level. So, it has not affected me personally in any negative way.
Accounting services, Providing financial information to our clients in a timely and accurate manner is a commitment that we feel cannot be compromised. Meaningful, well-organized financial records ensure that your business operations will run more effectively on a daily basis. Dodgen Global provides a full range of cost-effective accounting services, including the following: general ledger and financial statement preparation, bookkeeping, monthly, quarterly, annually, accounting system set up for new businesses, compilation of financial statements, audits and reviews. For more information and to discuss your requirements with one of our experts, please contact us today. Email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global. Dodgen Global offers a CPA scholarship program to team members who join our team. A career in accountancy at Dodgen Global is a great choice and can offer you excellent job prospects. We believe that an accounting education is the greatest gift you can give yourself or anyone else. Few gifts make as significant an impact as the gift of an accountancy education with a job. It's a contribution that lasts a lifetime in the form of learning, opportunity, and success. Join our team and get the opportunity to be part of our CPA scholarship program. This scholarships awards program will be administered by the HR department of Dodgen Global. Requirement: first degree in accounting. Employed at Dodgen Global. Willing to pursue the CPA examination. Here's how to apply. Submit application to Staff Accountant, Dodgen Global. Email sa@dodgen.com.
Cameo takes you behind the scenes of Jamaica's exploding creative industries to give you an insider's look at how creatives get the job done.
I'm really picky about how we treat our customers.
As creative people, we went a little bit over the top.
Each week, we interview innovators leading the charge in their industry. The chaos of creativity meets the stricture of structure on Business Access TV's Cameo.
Rise up like smoke, let the earth show. Mountains come crumbling down, let them go. Rise up to see, oh let me be.
Cockpit Country Adventure Tours is unique because of the fun and adventure that one gets when exploring. The features, the landscape, the river, the birds. Cockpit Country Adventure Tours, there's a possibility of spotting 27 of Jamaica's 28 endemic birds in this little area. The trails, there are trails for herbs where one can see herbs traditionally used in the local folklore. There are several caves, and this is one special one that we explore on a daily basis. And we've had great reviews from persons who have entered this cave. It's not like any that they have ever explored here in Jamaica, for sure. So it's unique for its naturalness. It's really, there has been no artificial setup on our attraction.
Yes, you're gonna pass.
New ideas are generated in many ways. We usually have a sit down with our staff and our board, and ideas are generated from there. We also go around Cockpit Country seeking new adventures. So we go to communities and ask them to tell us about what is exciting in their community. And we go there and visit and you know, to get new attractions. Our customer base, we have traditionally operated from persons who call in to us. In recent times, we have learned of new strategies on how to reach out to our customers. So now we physically take up our cell phones and we call up where we know our target audience would be. So, for example, local small hotels on the North Coast. We've more recently established relationships with tour operators and who actually does some of the groundwork for us. So that's basically how we get our customers. In terms of keeping our customers, we get a database of those who come in, and we sort of maintain some form of contact with them. One of our major challenges has been the visibility, getting into the marketplace, getting known where it matters. And to address that, we've established relationships with tour operators. We have established a Facebook and other social media pages on which we try to promote ourselves. And we do a lot of promotions otherwise just to get ourselves out there. One major failure that we've encountered is placing a lot of emphasis on one particular opportunity and not, looking elsewhere, not fully understanding what is expected in the market and what is expected to achieve in our objectives. We've somewhat opened up to more ideas and to be more critical and more analytical in how we approach advice and how we approach, opportunities. We try not to focus on doing damage control. So what we do a risk analysis. So we actually take into consideration all the possible things that could go wrong ahead of time, and we try to find solutions for those. We rather preventing a fire than putting them out. Not that things don't turn up, but we have a general sense of, possible things that could go wrong and a clear sense of how to deal with them ahead of time. And also because of the relationship with staff, everybody is always on target to take care of something quickly before it escalates. And we actually have an operations manual that covers all of these things. We've always done a 5-year strategic plan, and in more recent times we have fine-tuned that, and it's how we work towards our long, medium and short-term goals. We use social media, we use a website, we use magazines, we use Jamaica Tourist Board websites. There's a website established for community tourism enterprises, and I think so far our best marketing tool has been our website. The social media has been growing somewhat, and our relationships with other businesses has been helping to push us as well. To get the visibility, to get a presence where it matters, that's how far we're willing to go. Whatever it takes to promote Cockpit Country Adventure Tours, we are willing and able to do that. With financial support, we are the financial backing and having the funds to do it. I think it takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, just being consistent and persistent in whatever you're doing. I think that's the bottom line. Sometimes you may feel like you're on the wrong course, and you may feel like there's greater possibilities elsewhere, but I think really being consistent and sticking to what your objectives are is the main and probably the only way of achieving. So setting your goals and staying the course is it, basically. Success for me is really, in this kind of business, is really being able to cover, to pay your bills and having a bottom line that reflects your efforts, For me, it's getting the community involvement, getting the economic development for which the organization is mandated or on which it was established. Achieving community development, economic development, conservation of the area, and generating enough funds for persons in the area and for the organization. If we cover all those 4 things, then we definitely are successful. Our greatest fear is not having the impact in the marketplace, not reaching our market and staying outside of the market for too long, and therefore not reaching our potential profitability. That's my greatest fear. We're doing what we can in terms of ability. That's my greatest, promotional endeavors, stepping up on our marketing, just to be able to have that visibility in the marketplace and in the places where it matters.
Take the guesswork out of improving your IT infrastructure. The field of IT changes so quickly that it can be hard to plan a strategy while keeping up with technological advancements. Yet, without a strategic roadmap built on data-driven insights, your staff can be overworked, spending excessive time putting out technical fires instead of focusing on strategic tasks that fulfill core business needs. Our IT consulting services are the first step towards transforming your enterprise IT and improving your business efficiency. Our experts have the industry experience and best-in-class tools to methodically assess your entire support operation. We look at your IT support services holistically, identifying improvement areas that will have the greatest impact on employee productivity, service levels, and customer satisfaction. Need help improving your infrastructure uptime? Contact us to discuss a solution that will provide you greater productivity and efficiency. Email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
Have grown from 20 million US to now having 800 million US dollars.
Knowledge, skill, and professionalism. Those are my tools and my armor.
It's a big men don't cry, right? It's a big men don't cry, right?
We were being robbed some $531,000.
I've been angry to the point where I feel like I will kill people.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
I'm motivated by the development of Southern Trelawney. I'm from this area, and the possibility of seeing Albertown area, Rock Spring being a major tourist destination motivates me daily. to see people coming here like they would to other attractions on the North Coast is my motivation. One of my greatest inspirations is seeing a satisfied guest who comes out and is so stunned by what he has experienced that he would say something like, there's no word to describe what just happened. Another inspiration is students, persons who come as students who return with students. So when they become teachers, they themselves come back with students because they were so inspired by what they experienced. That too is another inspiration. My favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur is the freedom to enjoy this natural beauty on any given day in any setting. It's the opportunity to, decide what happens with my time, decide what happens in terms of an outcome. In the end, if I'm broke or I'm rich, it's because of my own choosing and not because I sat at a desk all my days and wasted all my time. It's the ability to be creative in what I do and how I do it. I would attribute my success mostly to my ability to stay the course, to remain consistent, to persist. My most satisfying moment in business is really getting paid. Having done all the work and coming to the point where at the end of the month I can say I actually get a salary rather than a stipend, a little support during, throughout. So getting to the stage where I get a paycheck with my name on it has been my most satisfying experience. My hobbies, what I like to do when I'm out of work is play Scrabble. I also enjoy playing Chinese checkers and other outdoor activities. So hiking is one of them, although it's part of work. I love bird watching, so I also do that from wherever I am. I'm happy every day. I'd probably say what makes me sad. I'm always happy. There's nothing to define what makes me happy. Just being alive, just being able to see nature, just being able to see the birds flying. Cockpit Country Adventure Tours would like to expand, to add new attractions to our repertoire, to have more guests coming in. We really want to get to the place where we are seeing at least 100 guests coming in on a monthly basis. And that's really, really, really moderate, a really moderate figure. But if we get there, we'll be rolling in happiness.
Let's go to the left and up.
My advice to entrepreneurs, stay the course. Be creative, be independent of mind, be persistent and consistent in whatever you're doing. Know that there will be times when you become frustrated, when the way seems clouded and the path seems very unclear, very unsure. You may even be told that you're wasting your time, but this is when you need mostly to be focused, to remember all the reasons for which you had started out, and just stay, just look ahead, just look beyond what you are being told to what exactly you want. Because when you focus on your outcome, you will achieve it. And if you believe it, you will do it.
Business Advisory. Realize greater growth and profitability. Navigating market changes can be challenging for any business. Our goal is to help you identify opportunities at any stage of your financial life cycle, ensuring you continue to meet your business needs in complex market environments. From startup through to expansion, tax advisory to accounting, Dodge & Global provides a multidisciplinary approach to managing the entirety of your affairs. We ensure your business remains profitable and competitive. You can expect practical advice, effective cost management, and a mutual respect for your goals and growth aspirations. Our commercial advice comes from extensive knowledge and experience working with a broad range of business and industry sectors. Dodge & Global can help you make smarter, more effective decisions. Let's have a conversation. Contact us at email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
Hi, it's Novia MacDonald White, Senior Associate Editor at the Jamaica Observer. And guess what? You are watching Business Access Television.
The need to meet the demand for housing has opened the doors for many more private developers. It is hoped that more families will be able to allocate the resources to realize the dream of finally purchasing their first home. At least that's the dream of the developer of Nell's Cottage. Join us for our first open house visit on this episode of Home Sweet Home. Stay with us. We are now here with developer Mr. Baron Stewart, owner of Stewart's Hardware. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Stewart.
My pleasure.
Now you're going to be talking to us about the development of Nell's Cottage, and I have quite a few questions about it. So firstly, how did the concept come about and why did you choose Clarendon?
Well, I'm in the hardware business for many years, maybe over 40 years. And I've always had businesses with buildings. I build for people, and I have seen the needs of the Clarendon community. We need buildings, we need housing, we need affordable housing. And I chose to develop a property, and it will be the start of many development properties that I intend to carry out. I am the main investor, and it's a family affair, so members of my family are all part of this development. The Clarendon area, it is not known for apartments. The population is not as large as the urban areas in Kingston and Montego Bay. And I don't think the apartments do as well as they do here.
And when is the project supposed to be completed?
Well, we anticipate that this project should be finished by next year. It should be finished by as early as next year, third quarter of next year.
What would you say is left to be done?
We are in the implementation stage. And we have the model house, and we have most of the infrastructural work done. And we hope that we'll be able to complete this in record time, sometime next year. Remember, it takes less than 6 weeks to complete a house.
Now you mentioned it takes about 6 weeks to get one of the units up. How do you manage to do that so quickly?
Well, we have a farm system, and we also have our suppliers, the main hardware store that we have. And we have skilled and hardworking people here who can get these things done within a reasonable time.
What are some of the behind-the-scenes work that goes into a project like this?
Well, as far as this project is concerned, it was conceptualized as far back as the 90s.
Okay.
Maybe then you were just a tot. I have been working on this, but it has been a long time for further development. So we have now just decided to bring it to fruition. And I think this is where we are right now.
And everything is going as planned?
And it is going according to plan. We hope to be able to give one of the best development in this parish in this known period.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Does it usually take that long for these projects to get off the ground, and are there any plans for a phase 2 or so?
One can conceptualize for as many as 50 years or more.
True.
Fact is that we have just decided that the time is right to get this project off the ground, and in fact, we are now poised to take on several others.
Okay.
So we do have several others in the pipeline, hopefully next year and beyond.
Okay, looking forward to it. Earlier this year, there were some talks about NHT leaving housing to the private sector. What are your thoughts on that?
I think we do a better job in the private sector in building houses.
Right.
And of course, we can always partner with NHT. We have a public-private partnership that is being mooted by the government, and it is something that I think we could capitalize on. We are in fact hoping that we can participate in that in a big way.
Okay. Well, Mr. Stewart, we understand you're a very busy man, so thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with us. I am now joined by Tyrone Graham, the project manager for Nels Cottage. Welcome, Tyrone.
Thank you.
Now, I want to talk specifically about the development. Tell me, the amenities, how many bedrooms, those sort of things.
All right, what we have at Nels Cottage is a 29-lot subdivision with 26 homes, bungalows, standalone units. We have two bedrooms, because we have 2 lots that are a little bit smaller than the average, and 24 3-bedroom. Okay. All right, the 2 bedrooms are 2-bedroom, 1 bath, a living, kitchen, dining with wash tub outside, and inside it's built to accommodate a washer-dryer combination or a washer as the homeowners may choose. And for the 3 bedrooms, we have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, with one of the bedrooms a master suite with a walk-in closet and its own bathroom and a garage that can also, we have in a design optional for the garage to be converted into a study, so we can customize the finishes for our clients. Even though our parent company is Stewart's Hardware, we are not in the furniture business. However, there are some amount of furnishing that you can get from the hardware to buy. So we're selling it as is empty, but what we'll be doing, we'll be staging the units for open house. We will give prospective homeowners a concept or idea of what they can do with the space as is, and so they can now see where they can go and shop and buy their furniture to put in, or if they are moving in with their existing furniture, or they can set up the units for them to feel as comfortable as possible.
Don't go anywhere, you won't want to miss what's coming up.
Cash flow and budgeting analysis. A business can be profitable and still run into trouble due to cash flow issues. We can forecast and evaluate your company's financial condition, estimate financing requirements, and track cash flow sources and uses. For more information and to discuss your requirements with one of our experts, please contact us today. Email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
Don't you know you're driving your mamas and papas insane? Oh, you pretty things. Don't you know?
Great design is not only how things look, but also how well they work.
Let me make it plain.
The GLC, more than meets the eye.
Creating change, building a future, caring hands, giving back, touching hearts, and shaping lives. impacting our world for the better.
The Good Life, your weekly dose of information on nutrition, wellness, and fitness. Discover ways to nurture your mind, body, and spirit.
I started out selling out of the trunk of my car.
If everybody think the same way, everybody going in the same line.
Being an entrepreneur takes everything that you've got.
Weekends? What's weekends? We work on a weekend.
There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
But you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything is a play.
We believed in ourselves and our families believed in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity, why we are all here doing what we're doing now.
The unit is very nice based on the space and the accessories that you'll get in it. So based on the kitchen area, it's nice and spacious. Based on my family size, I'd prefer to go with a 2-bedroom. And the price of the 2-bedroom is very convenient based on the size as well.
In terms of the room size, they're large. And the bathroom spaces, the bathrooms are very large too, so you can do much with them. $15.9, that's okay, because you don't need to do anything else to this property. It's everything. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lot of closet space.
Location, it's good. It's a reasonable distance from Kingston in terms of it's easy for me because my family is in South Clarendon and Westmoreland is halfway away from here, so it's easy to travel anywhere in the island from here. But the place is nice because the Clarendon they have high ceilings, so it keeps the place cool, so you can't worry about that anymore. And then the price is very attractive. So I want to come out here more because at 15 million for a 3-bedroom, it's something I can work with.
My perspective of the place would be, it's nice to live, it's comfortable, I feel at home. The bathroom, I can have my own bathroom and so with my mom and dad, and I love their closet so I can put my stuff in there and they will get my closet. I love it, I just love it.
So tell us about some of the other amenities of the community.
Apart from the units themselves, it will be a gated community with a security garbage skip to the front. We have 3 green spaces that the families can use for recreational areas. Right. We didn't put in a pool because, again, in the rural area, pool is not a big selling point for rural communities because people are used to, in the rural communities, to go to the rivers, go to the beach. Right. We're in Arsal, and Arsal is about 10 miles away from a beach. You have Salt River Mineral Bath, which is pretty close. Right. You have Milk River Mineral Bath, which is pretty close as well.
Okay. So the pool is not a major selling point.
It's not a major selling point for this area, given the location where we are. But in terms of gated, it's a new concept in the rural area as well to have gated communities. So it is a good selling point for us right now to have a gated community with security, and so the people can feel safe.
Now, are these classified as low budget or middle income homes?
We're looking middle income with NHT new dispensation of $5.5 million for new build construction. Our price in consideration for that, because the 2 bedrooms are going for 13.5 and the 3 bedrooms are going for 15.9 starting. And the land sizes, they're pretty much very big spaces. When we go there, you'll see what we have on offer. We start from about 6,000 square foot up to about 8,000 square foot in size, which is pretty huge for a development. But we're in the rural area, not in the urban.
Right.
So the families in the rural areas are used to having a huge, large yard space, so kids can play and put in their own amenities. So we took that into consideration along with the regulatory bodies of the parish, which is the Clarendon Parish Council, in what land size we can really put on offer. Our target group is really returning residents, teachers, police, people of middle. So you want to select your group really, because it's just a small development. You want everybody to be living there as a family, because it's only 26 units.
Now, Mr. Stewart had touched on this, but I want to go more in depth about some of the behind-the-scenes work that goes into making these units.
As the great Martin Luther King would have said, I have a dream. Everything started from a dream and a concept. Mr. Stewart had, as he touched on in his part of the interview, that it's a concept that he had from in the 90s, early 90s. He has went ahead and gotten the subdivision approval, which is critical for us to move forward in development like this, from 1995. However, nothing was done in terms of the construction and the development. It was just there. And then to move it from that stage with that approval, then we'll have to get our engineers, our architects, project managers, our quantity surveyors to prepare all the necessary documentation, the designs, the quantities, and submit for the necessary approvals now for the building, because NWC is critical in getting approval, because we have to provide water. Water is one of the critical amenities in any development. Without water, you can't get any approval. So NWC would have to do their background checks and see if they have water in the area to supply a development of such. And so the designs and reports that NWC are required is part of the background checks that would have been done and work have been done. Fire department would have to approve as well. Fire department would have to check and ensure that there is enough water. If there's a fire, we have enough fire hydrants in the development for them to assist them in firefighting. Also, Ministry of Health.
Oh, it's a lot of stuff.
Yes. You see, a lot of people don't know what really goes on behind the scene. It's critical for Ministry of Health to look at the type of sewage system that we have proposed and approve it before we can actually construct. Because without a proper sewage disposal, you can have all kind of different diseases that can break out, because the fecal matter not being treated properly. And then a parish council now comes down, and where the parish council is divided into road and works and the council, which is the planning department and the building department. So they look at how the entrance to the development affects traffic flow within the area, and then they have to give their approval as well. The parish council now takes into consideration all those different bodies and now grant the approval based on their assessment of the structure of the proposed buildings to be built.
Still more to come on Home Sweet Home. Stay with us.
Dodge & Global offers a CPA scholarship program to team members who join our team. A career in accountancy at Dodge & Global is a great choice and can offer you excellent job prospects. We believe that an accounting education is the greatest gift you can give yourself or anyone else. Few gifts make as significant an impact as the gift of an accountancy education with a job. It's a contribution that lasts a lifetime in the form of learning, opportunity, and success. Join our team and get the opportunity to be part of our CPA scholarship program. This scholarships awards program will be administered by the HR department of Dodge & Global. Requirements: first degree in accounting, employed at Dodge & Global, Willing to pursue the CPA examination? Here's how to apply. Submit application to Staff Accountant, Dodgen Global. Email sa@dodgen.com.
Cameo takes you behind the scenes of Jamaica's exploding creative industries to give you an insider's look at how creatives get the job done.
I'm really picky about how we treat our customers.
As creative people, we went a little bit over the top.
Each week, we interview innovators leading the charge in their industry. The chaos of creativity meets the stricture of structure on Business Access TV's Cameo.
All right, tell me again the size of the unit, because we're looking at the land space here.
Right. What you're looking at here, the size unit is 1,300 square feet.
Okay, that's the size of the land.
No, the unit.
Unit,
The unit
okay,
itself.
right.
This lot that we're standing on right now is 6,750 square feet.
Okay.
This is, I think, lot 27. Yeah, 6,750 square feet this lot is. And as you can see here, we have prepared the base now to receive the foundation for another unit to go up. And in preparation for this, we have prepared a marl base and what we pour what you call a raft foundation. And a raft foundation allows the unit to float, like you're on like as the name surrounding a raft. You go river rafting, right? So, say for an earthquake, the impact on the unit will be less because the raft allows the unit to float and go with the movement of the earth.
Okay, that's interesting.
Just behind here is where we have dug to put in our sewage treatment facility, which we're using septic tank and tile fields.
Okay. Now tell me something, is this space enough for me to add to the unit if I would like?
Yes. The restrictive covenants is just that we don't allow you to add to the front.
Right.
But you can do anything to the sides or the back.
Okay.
Right.
So this complex per se goes all the way up this road with units on either side?
Yes. As you can see, when you look all the way down to that last light post, just beyond there is where our boundary line is. It's 5.8 acres with one road through the center with units on either side, 13 units on either side. As I just told you before, we have two bedrooms based on the size of those lots and 24 3-bedrooms. One of the 2 bedrooms will be on lot number 1, that is the first lot you come in on your right hand, and another lot up here on the left hand side. I don't remember which lot is it, but I know that lot 19 and 20 is reserved for recreational area.
Okay, now tell me something, if I am to purchase, do I get to choose which lot I'd like?
Once you're
early?
Once you're early, yes you can.
Okay, I wanted to check if that
First come, first serve.
And what is the benefit of or purchasing, I should say, before it's built? Are there any benefits?
The benefit is that if you wait too late, you might not get, based on the limited amount of units that we have, and then you're talking about inflation. Inflation might kicks in. Right now, Jamaica inflation rate is about 7% per year. Now, at where we're priced, if you come in now, you get the price where the inflation rate is. But if you wait until next year, it might be more based on the inflation rate because the US dollar is sliding each day, so we have to be cognizant of that.
Right. So just reinforce why people should buy into Nell's Cottage.
Well, right across the island, we have a problem with crime. Nels Cottage is one of the only subdivision which is gated in Clarendon at the moment. And security is key and paramount for everyone. So buying into Nels Cottage will offer you that level of security because, as you can see, it's a gated community and it will have a 24-hour guard at the front that patrols at night. And so with security alone will allow people to want to come here. And separate and apart from that, we're pretty close to the highway. We're just off the last exit of the highway. Once you're on the highway, 45 minutes here in Kingston. If you work in Kingston, commuting to and from here to Kingston is very short. 45 minutes in the mornings, 45 minutes in the evening, because presently I commute from Kingston to here in the mornings and it's only 45 minutes. And it's, I find it an easy drive because I'm going against traffic. So Nels Cottage can offer the accessibility to the necessary commodities around. And Maypen is now a growing town. It's growing and a lot of development is happening in and around Maypen. So a lot of people want to live and do business in Maypen. So Nels Cottage offer them that flexibility of living close to work and being comfortable and safe at the same time.
Okay, and tell us about the price point for each of the units.
All right, again, the price point. I think the price is very affordable, given that the 2 bedrooms are going for 13.5 and the 3 bedrooms are going for 15.9. For a 3 bedroom of this size and the land space that you get and the amenities that are there, it's unbeatable.
Agreed.
It's unbeatable.
Well, Tyrone, that's where we wrap things up. Thank you very much for speaking with us.
Most definitely, and it was my pleasure talking to you.
Thanks.
And that's it for another week of Home Sweet Home. This week has been fun and, of course, underscoring another topic in the business of real estate. So much more for this season, so tune in next week for another exciting show.
Dodge & Global Marketing Strategy Consulting. Marketing isn't a department, it's a system. Having an integrated and cohesive marketing plan allows each marketing technique to support the others, thereby creating a synergy of branding and growth for your business. Dodge & Global can assist you in making smart decisions with lasting value in regard to the following key decisions. Determine if there is a paying market for your products and services. Craft long-term and short-term marketing goals. Define marketing campaigns. Create marketing strategies. Select powerful marketing techniques to reach your audience. Choose a brand and image that reflects your core message. Design marketing materials. Design internet marketing strategies. Track marketing results to determine the strongest techniques. Because it's so important to create an integrated marketing strategy that will bring in business. Get advice and mentoring from people who are already successful marketing experts. Our team can help you make smarter, more effective decisions. Let's have a conversation. Contact us at email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
Have grown from 20 million US to now having 800 million US dollars.
Knowledge, skill, and professionalism. Those are my tools and my armor.
It's a big men don't cry, right? It's a big men don't cry, right?
We were being robbed some $531,000.
I've been angry to the point where I feel like I will get it.
started out selling out of the trunk of my car.
If everybody think the same way, everybody going in the same line.
Being an entrepreneur takes everything that you've got.
Weekends? What's weekends? We work on a weekend.
There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
But you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything is okay.
We believed in ourselves and our families believed in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity, why we are all here doing what